everybody is calling me right now, not only calling for coaching, but they're asking me a powerful question, which is how on earth do I get listings in 2022 when there's super low inventory? Henry, what are you doing right now? Let me be blunt. Let me be quick. This is going to be a super fast video, so make sure you listen to this. If you are struggling to get listings, I told my students this over a year ago. You need to treat your business right now like you're going to sell half as many homes this year because it's about to get real choppy. I said to myself, if I was going to sell half as many homes as I did the year before, how would I still make more money than the year before? Because that's all that I really care about. Platinum, bronze, gold, silver, diamond, whatever the heck they call it all over the country, of people who sell properties, volume units. This is all this crazy, stupid stuff that people get caught up in. I don't really care how much volume or units I sell. You know what I care about? How much money did I make? And as long as I'm making my few $1 million a year, I'm going to be pretty happy. If you were going to sell half as many homes as you did last year and still wanted to make more money, how would you do it? It's twofold. You need to sell obviously higher price point properties and have higher commission. Higher price point properties, higher commissions. Now I know you're probably like, hey Henry, duh. No, this is not the time to switch off this video because I'm going to tell you exactly how you do each one of these things. Let's focus on the higher price point properties. You have really two options. Quick side note, I hope you realize that what you prospect for, you will list. What you prospect for, you will list. So if you are prospecting for $200,000-$300,000 homes in low-end areas, you're going to sell that type of property. You're going to list that type of property. And by the way, stop giving me the story or the excuse that you're a rookie agent and you can't sell high price point properties. My first listing was a $700,000 home. My first listing. That was years ago. I know people who have sold $2 million homes their first property. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I know people who sold $50,000 properties. Who cares? It doesn't matter. I want you to know that it does not matter that you're a rookie. It matters what you prospect. And if you prospect low-end properties, you're going to list low-end properties. If you prospect high-end properties, you will list high-end properties. So what I've shifted into is the following. Not only has my team prospected into price points that are only $500,000 to $1 million minimum, but we also prospect, 80% of my prospecting now is shifted into commercial properties. You know why? Because the commissions are way higher and I can control 100% of the deal and double end 80+% of the deals. It's the best type of real estate. My average commission went from $12,000 to $60,000. Did you hear what I just said? My average commission, when I was selling over 100 units a year, which was $12,000 average commission, now it's at $60,000. I 5x my income per deal, 5x my average commission per deal. Now if I do half as many units, if I went from selling 120 units to 60, but my income is 5 times as much per deal, I think I'm doing okay. I hope this is making sense in your head a little bit because this is the exact math that I did with my team. So I started prospecting for higher price point properties where I could represent both sides, where I can control the deal. Because instead of only getting 2% average commission or 2.5% or whatever you're getting, on average I'm getting 4%. 5% commission. This is how I'm able to get $60,000 average commission checks. It's a lot easier to feel really good about when you have a huge check coming. By the way, we're still closing, almost 100 deals this year. 100 deals at $60,000. You guys do the math. I mean, guys, it's not that complicated, and anybody can start doing this at any point in time in your career. Stop thinking you gotta wait for it. No, you can start prospecting the higher price point properties right now. And you're like, Henry, well, you already have the buyer pool. No, you can prospect areas that you have the buyers. And if you don't have a buyer because you're hypothetically a rookie agent, listen, I'm telling you right now, if you list a property, it's probably going to sell. So at a worst case scenario, your property, if you prospect a multi-million-dollar neighborhood, or at least a higher price point, 3 or 4 or 5 times the price point that you're averaging right now, or again, if you're a rookie agent, haven't sold a single home, and you prospect a $500,000 to $1 million neighborhood, you're going to sell the listing. Prospect for sellers. Stop focusing on buyers. Now let's flip the coin. Higher commissions. Like I just said in the other part of this story here, try to control the deal where I have the buyer already. I can have a property where I can keep it off market, or I can wholesale it. I've done a lot of my deals are wholesale deals where I come up with, I go to the seller and say, hey, I have a buyer who's willing to pay 100% of my commission at X price. Are you willing to take the deal? Who's going to say no to that? It doesn't matter. Here's the best part about this. It doesn't have to look a certain way. Ignore what you thought is normal in the real estate world, because it doesn't have to be. Because you don't have to wait till the house gets listed on the market and then you have to play the game and all the other things. No, I can list properties, I can wholesale properties, I can flip properties, I can do whatever I want. That is the beautiful thing about real estate. There's a numerous amount of ways to make money in this business, and you can find out the way to do that. So again, if I find a deal, right, give you an example. I find a single family home that I could have easily listed. I went to the seller and I said, hey, so here are your options. I do this to every seller, by the way. Question for you, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. I'm just curious. Would you prefer an all-cash quick offer to close in less than 30 days, as is, where is, or would you prefer to list it on the market for a couple dollars more? What would you prefer? And let them answer. A large percentage of people are going to say, obviously, I'd rather list it. I want as much money as possible. Awesome. No problem. Let's look into that. And let's look into the numbers and see what you can get it on the market. I also do have a percentage of people who say, yeah, I'd love a cash offer. I do not want to list my property. What do you think I can get for it? Well, an investor would pay X price. I literally just had a property that had a tenant in it. Tenant wasn't paying. They were freaking out. They couldn't make their payments anymore. They say, Henry, I would like a quick cash offer. I bought the house from them. I have to evict the tenant, which the tenant is almost out now. I was able to buy a property for $180,000 that is really worth, after $25,000 worth of work, maybe $350. After $60,000 worth of work, probably $425 grand, $425. I was able to do that. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to be out there buying a ton of property like I'm able to in my current position. However, could you hypothetically wholesale the deal where they say, well, I'm looking to take, I'll take a quick cash offer. I said, okay, well, an investor will probably, and I have an investor client who I could bring it to. You probably can have an investor client you can bring it to. If you don't have an investor client, I can be your investor, okay? And I can even help you locate an investor in your town if it's not going to be me, okay? I can make your life really, really simple. Click the link down below if you want coaching from me right away. So this deal, as an example, I did this example perfectly just because I wanted to make a video out of it. I went to an investor, I said, how much would you pay for this property? They said I would pay roughly about 200 grand for it. So I said to the clients, like, listen, I got someone who would probably pay about 180 grand. I wanted to go in a little bit lower and just see what their gauge their interest. They said they wanted to sell it right away. They're in a motivated position. I even said to them, like, listen, your investor will have to make money on this. So he said, no, I understood. 180 is fine. I just need it. If we're going to close it for 180 grand, this is exactly what they said to me. I didn't close in like 2 weeks. I said, okay, no problem. So now here's the thing. I could have done one thing, right? I could have listed it. If let's just say I made 3% commission on a $200,000 listing. Even if it was a $250,000 listing, I would make maybe $600 or $7,500. That's 3%. Or I could have wholesaled it from 180, lock it into an assignment contract for 180, then sell it, sign the contract to the investor for $20,000, which would be a 10% commission based on 200 grand. Based on 180, it's like, what is that? 12, 13, 14, 15%, whatever it comes to. Or I could buy it and I could flip it and I can make $100,000. I'm only looking for deals that I can make on average 50 to 100 grand on. Those are the deals I'm looking for. Because I knew, and I've been coaching my students on, if you were going to sell half as many homes next year, whether you're following, because it's only going to get more and more difficult. Hello. If you want to continuously stay on top and make a bunch of money, you want to figure out how some people are going to stay in the 1%, stay at the top of their game year after year after years because they shift. I had to shift. This is not the way I've been doing business for years. Last 18 months or so, I had to shift my entire business. Thank God I did. I had to fire literally 80+% of my staff, and I had to shift into a completely different model. Thank God I did, because I make 5 times as much money. Thank you. But thank God I shifted, because there's a lot of people that I know who didn't shift. And the people who made $500,000 last year are struggling to make 200, 300, 400 grand this year. But guess what? I shifted, and you can shift as well. What shifts can you make? Again, higher price point properties, find a way to make more money on the commission. That's it. Keep it simple. Anyways, don't overthink this, guys. I'm here to help you. If you need coaching, if you want coaching, if you want to be a part of my coaching program, make sure you click in the link in the description right now. Let's 10x your income in the next 12 to 24 months. That's what I'm here for. Besides that, guys, I love you so much. I hope this video helped you. And if it did, click the like button. I really, really appreciate it because it helps the algorithm. I don't know, it does some YouTube magical shit. I would really appreciate that. And anyways, guys, I love you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.